boy oh boy, I'm so glad that I finished my zoo deck this last week. Finally picked up the last barrages I needed, my last Chakanide, and my last Dreaded. Can't wait to play the deck for the next 3 to 4 months. Man, investing in Yu-Gi-Oh cards is so good. Thank you, Konami, for all of these awesome unlimited printings and making the cards cheaper. You're truly great. Thank you. Well, Zoo went 17-0, and much like every Zoo player, come the next ban list, all that money that we spent, we might end up like the wife's cousin up here, who, as I don't try to condone for any plushie owner, trying to make their lives a better place. Don't do it. So, as I said for the next week, can you find Majin Buu? Today he decided to hang himself from a ceiling fan. Lucky guy. Don't condone suicide, ladies and gentlemen. This is a do not situation. If you are a Yu-Gi-Oh player, you do not do this when your deck is going to get hit on the next ban list. So I would just like to point that out. And now, as for every situation, and as for every other thing that must happen in life, I need to talk about Zoo and how Zoo went 17-0. Sad day. So, Zoo's fuck next ban list. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it for any of you guys. It's gonna happen. Alright? We know that Zoo has been the most consistent deck. And let's be real, every person that said that Norden needed to go, no. Norden was the problem. Oh yeah. Oh my god, no. Norden was the difference between a Tier 0 format in which you could not engage with the game and a very strong Tier 1 format that still has problem cards in it. And let's be completely honest here. You know, no one wants to deal with Zoo. No, I've played Zoo since it came out. I want the deck to fundamentally be more of a fair deck. And I like what Zoo can do. You know, they even said we might not be getting a ban list until September. So, the reality of the situation is we're probably stuck with full power Zoo for a little while longer. Link format does check things. Link format allows Draco to go up a notch and perform at the same height that Zoo could. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that Zoo isn't going to still be the best deck, because it's going to be between Zoo and Draco. I'm almost 100% certain of that. No. Unfortunately, that's kind of what it's going to come down to. It's going to be a battle of Zoo and Draco. You know, the guy that won Euros went 17-0 playing Zoo. You know, we had really weird variants. We had Invoked Kaiju. You know, Pendulum's really trying. You know, like, Konami literally proved to us that you can give Pendulums 3 Skullcrat Jokers, what was it, 3 Pendulum Calls, release the rest of their support, and they're still gonna suck asshole. Like, I'm actually kind of surprised by that. This is how Majin Buu sleeps. It's very entertaining. But the moral of the story is, much like everyone else at the beginning of this video, we all realize that, you know, we've all invested in Zoo. And we all know that our unless we move everything in a timely manner, that, much like how most investments go, we're going to get punished. Now, I've said in plenty of other videos that I think Invoked is a very fair investment at the moment. Invocations are sitting at $20 a piece. You know, Macabas are at 18s, and that's something that's not going to get a reprint anytime soon. You know, it's something that we've had kind of floating around on the market. The hype literally settled down on the cards, and once more, you know, if you want to ditch Zoo and you don't have any events coming up, now be aware that with the article that was published today, or yesterday, I believe, they talked about we might not be getting a list until September. in the middle of it, depending on the format. That means Worlds is going to roll out. That also means, hey guys, if you're playing in regionals for the first couple of weeks of September, you probably should keep Zoo and keep Draco. I don't expect these cards to hold much value. Let's be real, there's going to be people that want to cash out after the WCQ. And I'm expecting a lot of things to crash even harder. D-Barrier's holding 20 at the moment. Desires is holding 20. The reality of the situation is we're going right into reprint season. We know a lot of these cards are going to get the reprints. Nothing looks spectacularly amazing in Code of the Duelist. Solemn Strike's getting dual reprints in the Megatins, I assume. And the special edition with Core. And it's a good time to get into the game. It really is. But we've now seen that with dual events and the supposed not leak of a list, there's no reason why Zoo isn't going to die. And I can't stress that enough. To the people, like, how do you counter Zoo? Like, how do I go to an event knowing that I gotta beat Zoo? My body's a shield ghost ogre. Ash Blossom's booty butt cheeks. Every person that has been playing the game lately has said Ash Blossom is... It's a good card, but it's a shit card in theory, because the things that you want to use Ash Blossom on, you don't really want to use it. Now, Ash Blossom can grow back in popularity when we get our good friend Cardin Mize back into the format. But until then, there's a lot of ups and downs that have to come. People need to see in Link format that Zoo is going to still be a massive powerhouse. And I think very few people understand that with Zoo being such a dominating force in today's game, that it doesn't change the fact that it's not going to get neutered in a couple months. So I don't know why they said we might not get a list until September. I'm expecting... We were hypothetically, the earliest we would get a list is August, and now they're speculating middle September. Typically when a deck does so well at Worlds, they might hit it, but Zoo is so neutered for Worlds, it's not even funny. Barrage, Drident, Broad Bolt, all these cards are banned. Rapiers at 1, and then we've also got to deal with, like, the universal hits between the two lists, Even if something is hit here, whatever quantity is its max limitation, that's what it's going to be on in that format. So, Zoo's not going to get banned through that window. And, I mean, if they're really expecting Link format to check Zoo, I think the reality of the situation is, after testing a bunch of times, Zoo's still one of the best decks. I keep saying Draco is the best deck as well. Draco can get you out of left field, because skill drain is a real pain in the ass. It all depends on what you make turn 1. I've seen a lot of these decks, they're playing Tornado Dragon, not Samurai. Your typical extra dedicated slots are typically, Tornado Dragon, Emerald, Abyss Dweller. Now, to be fair, Abyss Dweller is a phenomenal fucking card. But Dweller does what Dweller needs to do, especially against dinosaurs. So, I like it. I'm still a big fan of Skullmeister for those random-ass dinosaur matchups. You never know when you're gonna need to just Skullmeister something and just win the game because of it. So, prepare yourself. Expect Zoo in some shape or form to get destroyed sometime soon. If you're looking to sell off your Zoo cores, you might want to consider doing it before the North American WCQ. I wouldn't hold your breath trying to sell it at the event to the vendors. I wouldn't doubt if the vendors wouldn't be paying tens on Barrages at the event, because they don't want to take the risk as much as you don't want to take the risk sitting on it. And it's a very sad realization when things like that come to be, because it honestly sucks. You have plenty of time to move things now. You have plenty of time realizing that we're going right into reprint season. You have plenty of time to realize that if you need to keep your Zoo stuff for the first couple weeks of September, knowing that you might have a regional, now you're educated enough to make that decision, I hope. So guys, what do you think? The realization that Zoo's getting hit, we all know this. I wouldn't expect anything less for that particular deck, much like Majin Buu up here, who's a huge masochist and loves choking himself. No, Buu will never die from this, but many Yu-Gi-Oh players are going to make this joke sometime in the near future when they realize that they've lost a lot of money on Zoo. Because they weren't educated and smart enough to move it in time. But, alright guys, I'm out. Deuce. The ride never ends, guys. Make sure you enable those notifications to get the latest videos that are being posted on this channel. Make sure you guys check out VanCole40 for my Cardfight Vanguard channel. And join me and House of Champions on the Zodiac Duelist TV Twitch stream. We'll be interacting with our audiences. And please check out No Limit Gaming and LGTCG.com for the cheapest trading cards on the market. Thanks for watching, guys, and please have a good day. Next time you think it's a fucking good joke to try to fucking masturbate while I'm filming a fucking video, you asshole, we're gonna fight. Fuck you, stupid boo. Fucking, I hate this guy so much. We look nothing alike.